All right, we're going to be continuing on with part 7 of Venusaur by Lego Pokemon. This is set number 72153, contains 6,838 pieces, retails for $649.99. That was provided by the Lego Group for review. Thank you, Lego. Well, yeah, it's starting to look more and more like it every day. In the last installment, we did this leg here. It hasn't fallen off, so we know I did that right. And yeah, and right now we're kind of getting close towards a week 9.5, almost to a 9. Experiencing some pieces falling apart, but I think it's just due to its size. So in this installment today, we're going to do the same leg, but in mirror form over here. You know, I mean, yeah, he'll still stand up, but we don't want a 3-legged Venusaur running around. And, I mean, the build's keeping my interest. I'm not bored with this one. So in this installment today, we're going to be focusing on bags 17 and 18, wrapping up the legs for this installment. Because after that, the head is going to take a lot of work. And I think that's the next part. But it's starting to look more and more like it every time I work on this. Okay, so disclaimer, this is not to be considered construed as a professional product review, how-to, or tutorial. These are just merely my notes for the review write-up. All the commentary, wording is of mine and mine alone. Lego does not tell me what to say. It is a paid promotional offer, but when I start building, it's my offer. So that's what I'm doing here. Okay, but Lego did provide me this set. In addition to this, watch the video all the way through because I may make a mistake or something like that. And I may end up putting my hands in the wrong place. I may cover the build-up. You may see an elbow poking through. So yeah, these are just merely for entertainment. And lastly, it depends on how fast I'm willing to build. Sometimes I build slow. Sometimes I'm building fast. Yeah, that's what this is. It's a full build. It's not a speed build or anything like that. But for the most part, though, just sit back, relax, and just let me put you to sleep here with this one. Okay, well, let's begin with bag 17. Let's build it. And so it begins. We'll be here for 20 minutes. I kid you not, I got this thing pretty much down pat. Usually each small bag takes about 5 minutes. So, these could possibly be mirrors, so you could probably package bags 15 and 17 and 16 and 18 together. I didn't want to do that just because of brevitivity of the build, and I just don't want to drag it out and have hour-long installments. I'm trying to keep these more manageable. And I got to make a note because I only have like 23 minutes on this card. It should be just enough here to finish up this portion of the leg, and I'll have to switch cards to go to the other one. Okay. So we'll be here for a while. So just make sure you have yourself a nice packed lunch. Or maybe just run down and get yourself a burger or something while I'm putting this together. Because trust me, I'll be back. If you were to leave the video playing, I'll be back. I still would be here. So hopefully we can get this one done a little quicker because now I know exactly what I'm doing here, but I will still cover everything that I can. Yeah, just be sure to watch the video all the way through because I will make mistakes. Not intentionally, it just happens from time to time. So yeah. Yeah, I've just been kind of chilling out here, and today is the 21st of April, 2026. Yeah, I do film these, I usually film them in batches. After I get done with this one, I'm going to take a breather, make a meal, then I'm going to come in and film the part 3 of the educational set, which is Arctic Animals. And yeah, that one I don't want to do, so, but I got to do it. So that's, that having been said, I just have to deal with it. So, I've been getting a lot of stuff done today in terms of videos. I'm shadow filing up the tutorials that I'm working on now. I just haven't really had a chance to get to them. Also got a Minecraft farm going right now. I'm smelting stones, so you know how that's gonna go. Takes forever. So yeah, I got a nice zombie farm going on, and there's a skeleton farm not too far from there I want to build. So I'm going to try to make myself a little a little farming hub to farm things so I get XP. I've been enchanting a bunch of stuff. So I got tools now with efficiency 5, unbreaking 3, silk touch. What's the other one I use? Fortune 3. You know, just got to have a little fun here, you know, and that kind of thing. I was going to sit down and watch a little bit of Devil as a Part-Timer, but I actually watched episode 2 of season 4 of ReZero. That's not too bad. You know, I can't wait for the next one to come out. Jay, you're hooked to that stuff. I know, right? Sadly, just don't tell everybody I'm hooked to it. My voice is cracking, which means I got to do for a throat clearing here. Let me get some of this put in real quick. Yeah. Because there's a subsection coming up. I'm hoping it holds out till then. Yep. Doesn't look too bad so far. Alright, now we're going to focus on this. So this one may not take too long because I already had experience building the other one. So this is just a mirror of what we just did. So what we're going to do here, we're just going to build it and be done with it, right? So when I get this bag done, I can start on the switch memory cards. I'm going to have to edit some videos as I will be running out of cards way before I even get to the end of this. So at least right now I got parts 1 through 6 filmed. This is the 7th piece. Hoping to keep track of everything. In addition to that, I got to do the educational set, get that one done. You know, I did get another question asked about why do I have to do them. These are paid offers. I have to do them. Versus a set that if I bought it on my own with my own money, I don't have to do that. But it's just due to respect, just to say, okay, here's the set. It's here. Even if I don't want it, I got to film it. They asked us what sets we want to review. I told them no more educational sets. I'm done with those. They're just boring. I just can't get into them. You know, I know somebody said, well, why don't you just get into sets you normally don't do? You know, well, if you don't like a theme, you don't want to force yourself into doing it. See, these are starting to come apart. Just be careful with it here. And we just got that part in there. And okay, now it looks like we're focusing on the side here, like we did before. Yeah, this should go a little faster now because we've already did something similar to this. It's still fresh in my mind. Now, if I didn't have the education, if I didn't have any other sets, I would just go a full blast on this. I literally would. I can't because I do have the educational sets. I still got an educational set. 2 friend sets. I do have a city train set that I want to put together. Well, I have to. And I'm trying to think, there was another one that I had to do. I can't remember what it was. But I still only have 6 sets left to really work on here. Making sure I did everything right. So, yeah, if you get into this whole ambassador thing, it's you'll get your work cut out for you. Oh, and by the way, if I'm building too fast or too slow, I think the next person that says something, I may just go ahead and do a video on how to use YouTube. I don't want to do that. Yeah, but I got to go outside and hang up some lights. But I figure I want to get the Pokemon set, at least this part here, done. Hopefully by this week it'll have this whole section done here. At least get Venusaur done. Keep getting them confused with Ivysaur. I think Ivysaur is the one, the pre-evolved form of Venusaur. And you know, it's not too bad of a set. It's just grotesquely long. Now, somebody had asked, though, why don't we just take shifts and build a set? You know, it's your set. You can do it any way you want. If you have a brother or sister or anybody wants to rotate, just to give your hands a break, there you go. That's even recommended, too. But this set is really merely designed for you not to just blast through it in a day. I need somebody that actually took a week to put this together. Taken me a long time because I have other things to do other than Lego, so it's going to take me a little longer than the most builders. Okay, and then after that, put this here on the side. And you know, I have not ran across any missing pieces. That's even better. Also, we haven't ran across any really damaged or scratched pieces. So for those who wonder how I get my scores, I look at things like that. The only thing I think is going to hurt this set, obviously it's not a playable model. This is just meant to be a shelf queen, a little trophy piece. Every time, you know, speaking of... where was I at now? YouTube. I put a sign on my door that says I'm filming. You know, because I'm trying to get this done. I guess reading is a very hard thing for people to do these days. I kid you not, folks. Reading is very hard. I hate reading with a passion, right? I do it just so I don't make a fool of myself. Well... right in the middle of filming this, I had to stop what I'm doing, and yeah, that's why you notice sometimes there's a skip in the video. Some people have noticed that. Because I kid you not. The days of being single are over. You know, I miss those days. Okay, I'm going to film this real quick, get this done, and move on, right? And I said I'm going to make a dinner. Let me get this film. It's only like 5:30, and what is everybody... when are you going to get onto it? Oh, let me film this real quick. And it kind of started some drama, and I just thought, here I come back here to avoid drama, and I'm still getting nailed by it. So, yeah. Some of you notice sometimes I get frustrated. Yeah. You know, I want to do this one now. Every day's a chore. Okay, now it looks like we're working on the part that goes in here. Now, we've already done this before, so we already know what we're doing here. Jay, you sound like you're always busy. I'm always busy. Yes, you're right. I'm always busy. Sometimes they don't even bother me. Most of the times, like, when I'm working on something, right when I hang the note up on the door, like, sometimes I'll just sit back here and maybe watch a movie or something. Nobody will even bother me. Like, literally, I kid you not. Once I get on this camera and hit the record button, that's when everybody starts wanting to knock on the door. And you know, I can only do so much when everybody's taking naps and stuff like that, or when I get home, everybody else is up. And I'd have to go to bed at 7 at night just to get up in the morning before work and try to film these. And trying to wake up and film a Lego set is I wouldn't recommend it. I've tried it before, and you want to talk about being disorderly and not getting things together right. Yeah. And of course, in addition to all that, I don't really do tutorials. Like when I know everybody's sleeping or when nobody's here, that's when I'll film tutorials. I literally will have a marathon. Like I'll have half the workshop cleaned out. I'll have all these tutorials just lined up in a row. And when nobody's here, bam, 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 I can get 3 tutorials done in an hour. Filmed. I mean, not edited, just filmed. Now, when my bunch is here, I'm lucky to get a tutorial done in a day. So, I don't know. I just, like I said, I've been in my ways for so long, and now everything's kind of different now for me. It's like, you know, sometimes I do sound a little ungrateful, but sometimes I'm like, okay, I need a chance to unwind. And in the other room, they got the news playing up full blast and complaining about all that, and I'll spare you guys and gals the drama on that one there. But I'm like, it's not something that concerns me right now. I want to relax. It's like watching a good movie. Every time I would open up, let's say I want to build a movie, or not build a movie, I want to watch a movie. Like, I'll sit back here for an hour or two, nobody will bother me. Once I put a movie on, hey, can you do this and that for me? I'm like, okay. And there goes the movie night. So what I do is I either wait when everybody goes to bed and watch a movie, which is really only 1 or 2 days out of the week that I can do it. Because I could stay up later, you know, to watch a film. You know, that kind of thing. And, yeah, I need to put on there, you know, I've been thinking about building me a man cave that's fully insulated. I wish I was like my neighbor and had that fallout shelter, because if I had a fallout shelter in the backyard, I make sure that thing where I couldn't hear any outside noise, and I would just go in there and just film. He's got that fallout shelter. I'd be like, dude, if I had this, I'd clean it up, get it inspected, and I'd run a piece of conduit out there and make that into my little man cave. Okay, use the round plate here. We got the wedge plate. We got to make sure we do this right here. I got to be very careful. Only got 8 minutes left of this. See, we had these and they had the smaller pieces in the set, so I don't know what the deal with it was. Wait a minute, hold on. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Put these in here. Guess what I'm going to have to do? Wiggle this apart a little bit and stick those in there. Yeah, but I mean, I kid you not, folks. I really kid you not. I just say, okay, I'm filming right now. And I know there's some out there who don't read the descriptions on YouTube. It's a note sitting on the door. I mean, next time what I'll do is I'll crawl up in the attic, I'll wire a light in there that says on air or something like that. If I have to, I'll do that. I don't want to have to keep running stuff in my house, but I may have to do it. Just to get this filmed. You notice, though, a lot of the Lego YouTubers are single. They can easily do this. If you are involved in a relationship, married, you know, that kind of thing. Hold on, I got a light here flashing. What's going on here? I thought my camera was plugged in. Hold on. Let me, whoa, horsey, whoa. I thought I had something plugged in here. Okay. Okay. I kid you not. Jay, you're always busy, huh? Yeah, I am. All that time, and I was like, oh, yeah, I need a break. Alrighty, there's a white piece that's missing in here. Oh, there it is. And yeah, so I'm always being bothered. And I'll guarantee you, though, if I mention, hey guys, you want to go out of town? Oh, no, I want to stay home. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Okay, now we're going to be pegging this up here. Now remember the last one we had to wiggle, so if you can't get yours in there, just start wiggling things and just getting it in there like that. And just wiggle it in, you should be fine. Okay, now we got to start with the wedge piece first. And then, but of course it's like my girlfriend gets mad at me because I was like, what, you know, trying to do this. If I do not answer the door within so many minutes, they'll just start coming in here. And the door does have a lock on it. I don't like using it just in case there's an emergency. But I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm filming. I need to set some rules. Like, okay, I'm filming this right now. Let me get this done, you know. Let me finish real quick. But of course, I'd hear, all you do is Lego stuff. Well, it's either that or I sit down and watch TV all day, which I don't want to do. You know, I mean, watching TV after a while gets kind of boring. Okay, the red ones go here. Like that. Well, we survived that. Somebody can interrupt me while I'm doing it now? Because I only got just the kneecap left. Okay. And I remember in the last one, it was right about there. I'll show you in the back here, it might be easier. And I put that in backwards. Well, let me fix that real quick. Yeah, so just like YouTube, most people here don't read. Okay, now it goes like that. I mean, it's okay to make mistakes in this stuff, right? Because we could always redo it. And that takes care of that, but we have a few extra pieces here. Alright, does it match the other leg? Might be missing one here. Let me take a look here. And if somebody gets mad at me because I miss a part, then so be it. Oh yeah, there was a stud that went here. We already got this piece here. But usually I get one or two extra ones of these, which don't bother me. I think we are good here. Let me take a look here. Alright, so I got 3 minutes left on this card here. In case somebody knocks at the door or complains about some, it may take me longer. Okay. Yeah, so I think that's it. Well, we're obviously not done yet, and that's what we have remaining there for bag 17. Alright, now we're going to wrap up with bag 18, and hopefully nobody interrupts me, but while I'm unpacking this, I want to thank everyone on my main channel for being contributors, as well as Patreon. That's always a big help. Because someday I may have to use that money to get a full-fledged studio with insulated walls and a bouncer in front to let everybody know that I'm actually filming instead of, you know, being interrupted. In addition, I want to thank everyone for taking the time to check out my Rebrickable profile, purchasing building guides. That's always a big help too. And if you like hearing me ranting, complaining, all that stuff, this is the channel for you. Feel free to like, subscribe, drop a comment, turn on notifications, all that other jazz that goes on with everything now. So now we're doing the upper leg portion now for this. And yeah, well, let's get into it. Let's get this done here. And yeah, get this built here. I had to switch memory cards. Making sure I'm recording here. I have the other card that I use strictly for the review portions right now. So it's going to make it a little easier because I am filming two different sets at one time. And before I can get to the educational thing, I want to get this set here built first, or at least get at least a couple installments filmed before I switch over to that one. And well, at least I remember to put these in this time. But yeah, I'm hoping to come up with a tutorial tonight maybe after I sit down and have a meal, I'm going to watch a little, maybe watch an anime or maybe a regular movie. I don't know. It depends on who bothers me at that time. You know, aren't you afraid your family, you know, sees these? I'm going to be honest with you. People, it seems like people in my age range and older don't use YouTube all that much. This is my venting. This is the place I vent and relieve my frustrations. The man cave, which is just a bedroom. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, so once you build one of these, it's not too bad. I was going to ask if anybody wanted to go out for a meal tonight, but when I see them bundled up in front of the TV watching reality, I don't even dare ask, because I did that last week. And I literally almost got cussed out. And I just thought, oh my goodness. And then of course I hear, well, it can't be worse than you watch an anime. I'm thinking, well, yeah, but at least I can turn that off whenever I want. You know, and I just thought, I mean, this TV, it can wait. I really don't care to watch any of that reality TV. Because right when it starts up, beep, 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 it just beeps. Every other word is beeped out. I'm like, you know, here's it. I love to cuss in my videos. I really would, but families watch this stuff, right? And I want to make it universal for everybody to enjoy, not, okay, let me put a disclaimer, let me tell everybody I'm saying bad words, you know, that kind of thing. Nobody wants to hear me cuss. After a while, it gets the same old thing, you know. I don't want to cuss in these. I really don't. Unless YouTube backs me in the corner, says I have to, but that's all right now we don't. Okay, so far we're doing pretty good, huh? We haven't really messed up. It's just, it's everything else that's been kind of affecting it, but not myself being the build. So right now we're getting close to a 9 on this one here. But yeah, we're getting to it. We're getting close. Not a whole lot left. But at least I know you guys and gals watch these. And for those, you know, if you're not sure, you know, now you know. These are just, whoops, that doesn't go there. These videos are just meant to kind of just aid myself into the build. Let's build it doesn't mean I said let's tutorial it. Imagine me doing a tutorial on this guy alone. It would just be very brutal. And even I have standards. I don't even, something this big, I don't want to dare make a tutorial. See, it's coming apart. I'm having pieces falling off now. I think we're getting close to a 9 here. And we're not even close to a... Yeah, usually the bigger the build, the more fragile they are. Depends on how they're constructed. I don't even know what time it is. See, it's just starting to buckle and stuff. Alright. And also, this is the only time I have available to really film. Because every other part of my day is either doing chores or something, and I don't really have a whole lot of free time to really do anything here. If you're a young viewer watching this, you're lucky. You don't have to do chores. Well, if you do, they're probably not as bad as what an adult has to do. And that's it with that. See, we use those half tiles and we're using quarters. I think Lego was just kind of filling this one up with just a bunch of parts to make it seem like you're getting a really big set. But then in reality, you're getting where you could just replace it with something bigger. Would be a little more easy to put in, but we're putting all these smaller parts in first. I have a feeling the head is going to be a big one, so I think the head I may split. I read ahead. I may have to split the head up into 2 installments. I will really read ahead on that and make sure and see how the head goes in. You know, how do we split that head apart? And Yeah, I need to get some of these in different colors. Makes a good vehicle piece, though. Ugh, I'm getting tired already. Like I said, throughout the weekdays, I don't get a whole lot of free time. It's always, like Mondays are my worst day. Tuesdays are not too bad. But by Thursday night, I can just relax, making sure that these are both rounded. Are they rounded on this one here? Yeah, okay. Making sure I did not mess up here. It's always good to check a few times. It's not going to hurt anything if you make an honest mistake here. You always hang on to your spare parts. I've known some where they toss their parts away. Hang on to them. You may need them for another set, or you may mess up somewhere, or a piece may flake off. If you're in this as a hobby, then keep those pieces because you'll use them for other builds. What time is it? Really, they wanted me to start dinner at 4 in the afternoon, 4:30. Okay. And that's what we have remaining there for bag 18. Well, now we got to put these two. Let's get these acquainted. And yeah, just like the other one, it went together like this. Let me make sure I'm facing it the right way. And then you just slide this in here. Remember that last one we had a crack here. So this one's fine. So this is what your leg's supposed to look like here. But now we have to fix it to the big beast here. The frog. I'm really going to anger some people. Call it a frog with a plant on its back. Okay. Let's see. Let's do it like this. So these do fit at an angles. Just kind of dry fit it in there. I'm going to hold it like this, take my hand here and plop it in, and hope I got it in there. Yes, I did. That's what it looks like on the bottom. Not too appealing, isn't it? But the legs are very flexible, though. This thing can hold its own weight. Looks like we just got to put a frog head on there and we'd be done, huh? We're a long ways away from that, because right now, I'd say we're about 70% done with just him alone. And yeah, it's not a bad build so far. Not a bad build. So, summation of thoughts. Okay, I am experiencing some pieces falling off. Not too major, but we're experiencing some pieces coming off this set. But once it's built, I haven't had anything fall apart, which is even better. But as you can tell, we're still missing some things. It looks like the body itself is done. We're missing the head and the plant that goes on the top. So it looks like in the next installment we're going to be doing the head, but I think the head spans across 4 bags. And I'm thinking I'll time that one. We'll see how many small pieces are in there, but I'd like to keep the head like 19, 20, and 21, just kind of breeze through it. So I think it's just mostly big stuff here, because I haven't even seen those bags yet. I've seen there's 21, but where's 20 at? Let's see here. So it might be just small bags, because we're just doing a lot of the other stuff. And I think the best thing to do, if I do the head, try to do the head in one installment. It may be a little longer, but yeah. But right now, guess what I have to do? Go make a dinner tonight. I'll make sure I put get a big giant piece of cardboard, a Kato pin right on there. I'm filming. Let me finish this up. Be back in. Matter of fact, I may put a thing on there. I'll be done in 2 hours or something like that. Yeah, But I need to get this thing going here because I really want to get the Pokemon stuff done just because I've been getting a lot of requests for it. But yeah, tell me what you think so far. I mean, honestly, it's really cool looking. It's heavy, but right now it's doesn't look like anything impressive yet. But it's a very good strong build.